right, I'd just like to share with you today how to create structure to manifestation. So if we can learn to become aware of the concept that if this is the entire universe or everything that we know of as an existence, infinite, okay, we call it the plasma gravitational field. It's where all this, the dynamics of manifestation and reality exist. So I want you to think of the plasma gravitational field as consciousness, and consciousness doesn't have any preference. So whether it is artificial intelligence or organic intelligence, it responds. Whether it is light consciousness, it will respond equally in response. And if it is shadow consciousness, it will respond, it will deliver back on shadow consciousness. So it has no preference because its agent is to manifest. It manifests the command. The command is shadow consciousness. It will support shadow consciousness. Okay, there's no favor, there's no preference to it. So that's why if we want to have a more positive life, we need to be creating a now-to-now moment constantly in the positive, which I know is hard, and that's why I want to speak to you about and show you a pathway. Before we start traveling through any of the timelines or constructing a timeline, I'm going to just remind you that you have to work through the heart structure. Everything you do has to be done through heart structure or love consciousness or heart-centered consciousness. Crucial, because from that platform, you're already creating a vibration, and that vibration amps up all the other actions that you do. So if we want to look at a program to assist us, the steps, the program is created by emotions, vibrational sequences, deeds, and actions. And I'm going to show that to you now. So for example, we have these timelines. These are timelines, okay? We have a neutral timeline, we have a positive timeline, and we have a negative timeline. Let's place ourselves in neutral. Neutral means the 0 point, the still point, or even the aspect of surrender. So when you put yourself in neutral, you are surrendering to whatever is you are allowing. You're becoming pure awareness in that moment. So let's just place you here. Now, you have a positive parallel reality to this neutral placement, and you have a negative parallel reality to this neutral placement. And that is all dependent on you, where you shift next. Your emotions shift you. So that is why emotions are important. So if I'm sitting here in this neutral point, okay, something's happened. Whether I've woken up for the morning and I've placed myself in neutral, or I've had an argument with somebody and I've placed myself in neutral because I don't want to create a sequence in this negative timeline. Okay, so I need to always reinstate myself back into neutral, because if you are having a bit of a shadow experience, you will keep reprinting. This is you creating every now moment. From one moment to the next, you are re-imprinting. So you actually re-imprint from one moment to the next. You choose where you're going to. And if you're in a shadow aspect, you will keep reprinting a shadow aspect negative timeline. If you are in neutral, you don't know, you can't be happy about the situation, but you know being negative is going to reprint itself, and it's going to take you more to climb out of the lower vibration, the denser vibration. So by learning to place yourself into neutral, and coasting along in neutral for a while is absolutely fine. It's better. It's a choice. You've actually made a choice, and you are coasting in neutral. So with neutral, same thing. You can just reprint yourself. Something upsets you, you reposition yourself into neutral. You keep repositioning yourself into neutral. But ideally, what you want to do is you want to go from neutral into a more positive timeline or a positive reality. So a lot of people will use an emotion because it's an emotion that actually gets you down here. Anger, or abandonment, or anything like that, bad experience. It's an emotion that drops you into this negative parallel timeline. And it's an emotion that gets you out. So gratitude, love, joy, doing something good, a deed to somebody else, a deed is part of the programming, okay? Gets you into a higher vibration, which is what you want, okay? So once you're in that higher vibration, well, there's nothing really better, is there, when you are reprinting. And if you're here and you're reprinting and something negative comes along, let's say a car accident, but generally when you're in this timeline, you have near miss car accidents. And that's what happens, is that you're sequencing so beautifully that you seem to miss all of this because you've actually got a buffer. You've got a buffer in between you. So can you see why it's so important to keep on pulling yourself back up to here? But if you're in neutral, it's much easier to jump up through a single emotion to this point. But if you are in this parallel reality, it is such a huge jump to jump up there. It's like virtually impossible. So my little technique is to pop yourself into neutral, coast along in neutral, and then from neutral, when you find that happy moment or that space or that breather or that moment to meditate, you can pop yourself back into a better, more positive parallel reality. Now with this parallel reality that's going on here, you have a trajectory. So it is where in the now moment you are, you have an outcome of where you want to get to, whether it is a new job, a new house, a relationship, or just being in a place of pure and utter bliss. Okay, and those you will, if any of you know these, this is not really related to that, but if you've looked at any of those vibrational charts, right down here is anger and hate and all those kind of things, and right at the top is bliss and love and things like that. So obviously we're all comfortable and happier in that environment, and we are always trying to achieve to get there. And I'm showing you some steps that I have found to work for me. So that is our trajectory. We have a vision to get there, okay? And it is up on this range, and we need to be in a more positive timeline to get there. So that is your, and it's your possible outcome. This is your possible outcome, is this arena here, and it's your target. But let's have a little story doing something like this. You are operating along here, you've gone into neutral, and something happens. I wonder if I should do this in red, might be better. Something happens, and you go down into negative, and you stay in negative. Okay, can you see where your final outcome has arrived? Its destination is definitely in a denser, lower version, negative parallel reality. Okay, so that is why we need to pop back into neutral, so that at least, if we pop back into neutral, we can at least have an outcome that's in a better frequency range, vibrational sequence range for us. And if we become highly skilled, or we just reprint every now moment, we get the technique, and so we have the ability to just do it subconsciously and create the pattern and create the pathway, you find that it doesn't matter what happens, you just pop back up and you just keep going from moment to moment, exponential. Okay, outcome can be exponential, larger, and also you're surrendering to all of this as well. So these are the laws that we're working on. And if we just glance at these, you look at the potential of all of this. And if you are putting negative potential into your timeline, you can see where you're going to come out. Same here. And if you are harnessing the potential of your emotions. You create a vibrational sequence through deeds and action, and you get the action of a result, okay, which is infinite possibilities in the higher positive framework line. Okay, if that made any sense. Okay, then if you look at grace, okay, we've all dealt with that word grace. It was a very interesting one. I think it's much larger than we can even conceive, the word grace. Okay, surrender. We battled with that one, a lot of us yesterday. But as you can see, if we view this neutral reality as surrender, okay, you're taking yourself, you're removing yourself from a situation, and you going to surrender to all that is so that you can replace yourself in a better situation. Action. So action, that's what we're dealing with today. That has got a lot to do with how you're going to act in the moment, and it's by controlling your emotions or replacing your emotions to reprint better. That is an actual action that you're taking. You're taking that action out of free will. It's your choice. I'm here. It's my choice to allow that to affect me, or it's not. That is my choice. So you can choose a negative reaction or episode. You can choose out of your free will. You're going to choose which timeline you're going to vibrate in, what kind of vibration you're going to create so that your payback is going to be an equal match. Every action has a cause and effect, okay? Hopefully through all of this, we learn wisdom, we gain wisdom, we evolve. We actually evolve from a 3D to a 4D to a 5D, all right? We get to shift out of this polarity dimension, but it's still, polarity is so crucial for us to remain or bring down the 5D consciousness into our 3D bodies. We need to anchor the 5D consciousness into our 3D body. That is what this process is. It's not about escaping the 3D and evading our bodies, okay? And then we can come to see our true purpose of that union of the heaven to earth, all right? And then the last one is love, okay? So, and like I said to you from the beginning, has to be done through a heart-centered consciousness, every single one of these actions, because that will keep you more up in this area. If it's done with animosity and hatred, jealousy, all those kinds of things, you're just going to remain down here. We want to get out of here, okay? We're so programmed to be in here, okay? We need to come out of here. So some of the things I just want to share as well. Emotions are a frequency, okay? Sound vibration into the quantum field. Your emotions interact, engage, disengage all of the time. Can you see how they fluctuate? And the reason why you need to be very conscious of your every now moments is that if they are random, you're not choosing, you're indecisive, you can't choose what you want to be. You're sending out all these mixed messages. It doesn't know how to deliver. It just goes, okay, well, the strongest vibrational sequence match was this because it was total fear. And so that's what you're going to get. That's the actual outcome that you're going to get. And who wants that? Okay, so can you see that's in your control, how you will move into a higher, more positive reality. So, emotions shift. Can you see the top of the shift is here, the low, this is the positive part of the shift, this is the lower timeline reality of the shift. Your emotions will shift you wherever, okay? You are the master of that, the creator of that. This exchange reprints. This is a reprint of every single second, millisecond, maybe it's even faster than that because our thoughts are so fast. The conversations in our head and the programming and the belief systems and all those things we have to deconstruct. So basically what I'm showing you here is how to deconstruct a timeline. The minute you think positively and you shift out, you actually deconstruct this timeline and you start reconstructing a new timeline. And then if you can shift up, you start reconstructing a beautiful positive timeline. And the minute you do that, this deconstructs. And there's this whole thing about even all those past engagements and things that have happened that haven't served you disappear. Okay, but that's another thing. This exchange reprints your new now moment reality. This is how you start to control your reality and manifestation. So you are at the steering wheel of your own reality. Once again, like I said, you control your reality. Okay, you fluctuate. Okay, your fluctuation cannot, I don't know what I've written here, but can't control emotions. Okay, if you fluctuate, you're random and you cannot control your emotions. You're flying off the handle. You're excessively happy. You're excessively sad. Bipolar. All those. Can you see how a bipolar person could really have trouble manifesting a really good outcome? Okay, you end up in a parallel reality. Either, it's more likely here if you are constantly more in a shadow aspect of creation. It will manifest out in a lower, denser, parallel timeline. Okay, so I hope that hasn't been too much. There's lots more for this, but I just wanted to share and get that out and see how you guys digest that. And let's see what comes of it. Okay, thanks so much for letting me share. Bye.